It is Friday, July 19th. I have 8 good stories for you today. Let's jump into it. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. Shout out to DMV, sardines, and what? You know what I'm talking about. That's how I know who my DMVers are. Let's jump into it. The first story in transportation. Avianca is advocating for the implementation of a no-fly list to prevent problematic passengers from boarding flights. The initiative aims to enforce stricter measures on passenger behavior to enhance security and safety during flights. This request comes from multiple incidents, including a notable one on July 17th during a flight Avianca 249 from Bogota to Sao Paulo. The plane had to return to El Dorado Airport due to the disruptive behavior of 2 passengers. These individuals threw a cell phone, causing it to overheat and create panic among other passengers. Despite the disturbance, the crew managed the situation effectively, and the flight landed safely at 7:56 a.m. with 161 passengers and 6 crew members aboard. Avianca hopes that by implementing a no-fly list, similar incidents can be avoided in the future, ensuring a smoother and safer experience for all passengers. Okay, in Angel Watch News, I'm just going to call this segment Angel Watch News. You know what it is. That Angel Watch program is in effect. A Jordanian American, Hazma Anaswe, 57, was arrested at Miami International Airport while attempting to travel to Medellin, Colombia. U.S. Homeland Security Investigations and Customs and Border Protection agents apprehended him after an Angel Watch alert flagged his travel plans. Anashwe was wanted for crimes against young ones in Medellin, accused of abusing a 17-year-old girl on October 9th of last year. He had traveled to Colombia 13 times since 2019, with 11 visits since August 2022. His arrest follows an investigation revealing he sent money to a victim's relative in exchange for these said favors. This marks the 13th foreigner arrested for these crimes in Medellin this year and the 6th case of tourists detained in airports due to the Don't Try It, It's a Crime campaign against young one exploitation launched in April by the mayor. Medellin adopts innovative identity verification application with facial biometrics. Medellin is pioneering security improvements in Colombia by implementing an identity verification application using facial biometrics. Developed by the mayor of Medellin and the National Civil Registry, this innovative technology will confirm people's identities in real time, enhancing security processes and crime prevention. The application will be used by the National Police to scan physical digital ID cards through QR and MRZ codes. A total of 1,954 licenses for mobile devices with the application will be available in Antioquia, with 1,503 assigned to the metropolitan area and 1,087 specifically for Medellin. This advanced technology marks the significant steps towards a safer city by enabling real-time identity verification to reduce crime and protect citizens. So there you go. In local transportation news, Metro Cable Line K to Santo Domingo and Medellin has reopened after being closed for 20 days due to a cabin collapse that resulted in 1 loss and nearly 20 injuries. Operations resumed at 4:30 a.m. on Friday, July 19th, following rigorous inspections and international safety certifications. Medellin Metro Manager Tomás Alejandre emphasized the importance of the line for residents, access to opportunities, and dreams. The closure had significantly impacted transportation times and reduced sales for Parque RV merchants by over 90%. Line K, operational since August 7, 2004, spans 2.7 kilometers with 4 stations and a capacity of 3,000 passengers per hour per direction. Now, let's hear from the Metro manager himself, but I want you to look at the guy to his left, which is all right. You tell me if this guy is not sketched out.
Everyone, here we are at 1:57 a.m. heading to the Santo Domingo station to reopen it, to open it to the hearts of Santo Domingo, to all the people who eagerly need to travel together again on the Metro cable to access their dreams and opportunities once more.
Okay, there you go. You tell me. Did he look a little nervous? I mean, think about it. It's the first time in 20 days, and he looked like he didn't know who did the work, or maybe he did know the work, his cousin or something. I don't know. Anyway, in Bogota, AJ Estrada has been jailed for scoping and robbing men in Bogota. Estrada approached victims in bars in the west and north of the city, gained their trust, and then spiked their drinks with toxic substances. After incapacitating the men, she would take them to her apartment and steal valuable items, including cell phones and computers. One victim reportedly lost 80 million pesos from a safe. Authorities believe she exploited the men's unconscious state to steal money from their debit and credit cards. A prosecutor from the theft unit has charged Estrada with qualified and aggravated theft. Okay, in global tech news, and you may or may not have known about this, but it's been a big deal early this morning. A global Microsoft computer outage today disrupts airlines and telecommunications worldwide. In Colombia, LATAM Airlines and JetSmart warned passengers of potential delays. LATAM informed passengers via X, formerly Twitter, about possible flight delays due to the outage. JetSmart recommended passengers arrive earlier at airports due to the intermittent IT service disruptions. Despite these issues, Colombia's Civil Aeronautics Department assured that air traffic control remained unaffected and operations continued normally. The outage also impacted major U.S. airlines and airports in Berlin, Amsterdam, Hong Kong, and Spain. CrowdStrike, a cybersecurity firm, attributed the failure to a faulty update, not a cyber attack, and is working on a fix. So hopefully this is done by now, but this has been a mess at the airports this morning. But what exactly happened at Microsoft? So I started digging a little bit more. A global tech meltdown occurred due to its two issues affecting Microsoft systems. First, an outage in Microsoft's Azure cloud service impacted users, including airlines and other businesses. Some Microsoft 365 apps and services like Teams also faced disruptions. Then a flawed security update by CrowdStrike caused problems for Windows devices. CrowdStrike CEO clarified that there wasn't a cyber attack, but that the defect in a content update for their Falcon sensor software used for critical cybersecurity tasks. Fixing the issues required manually rebooting affected computers and complex, time-consuming process. These incidents highlight the fragility and interdependence of global tech infrastructure. Stick around to the end because I got a comment on this one. We're just too far in the future. Again, stick around to the end. I just want to talk to you for a quick minute. In international travel, Medellin consolidates itself as the second most connected city in the country with 33 air routes. New connections to destinations such as New York, Miami, Lima, and Buenos Aires boost tourism. But I want you to hear this directly from the mayor.
Great things are happening in Medellin, and we want the rest of the world to know. Today, Lima, Santiago, Chile, Buenos Aires, and Aruba don't have to wait to hear about the transformation of our city. They can visit us with direct routes. These new routes that we have opened this year are achieved thanks to the joint effort between the public sector and the private sector, demonstrating that when we work together, we connect and grow both. We have also reactivated the direct route from Medellin to Orlando and increased flights to New York and Miami. In 2024, we expect to receive more than 16 million visitors. And next year, we will surpass 18 million visitors to our city. In Medellin, we welcome new visitors and our returning guests with open arms. We invite Colombians and people from other countries to take advantage of these direct flights to come together and experience quality tourism. Enjoy our cuisine, our mountains, our art, sports, and everything that our wonderful Medellin has to offer. This will also benefit our people with real jobs and opportunities. Today, we are proud to say that we are the second most connected city in the country, with 12 direct national routes and 21 international routes. Medellin is getting better every day. Best regards.
In local transportation, in preparation for the Medellin Flower Fair, taxi drivers in the city are learning English to better serve the influx of over 26,000 foreign tourists, many of whom are from the United States. The event, running from August 2 to August 11, is expected to generate more than $18 million for the city. Hupe Bombas, a taxi company, has facilitated English training for around 1,000 drivers, offering courses at basic, intermediate, and advanced levels. These initiatives aim to enhance communication with foreign passengers, improving service quality, and make tourists feel more welcome and safe. The English courses, lasting about 6 months per level, are free and held weekly at the company's facilities. Drivers can further validate their skills at partnered language institutes. So there you go. Those are my stories for today. But I wanted you to just recognize how dependent we are on technology. For this to shut down all the airports, I mean, I don't think airports or airplanes have been grounded since 9/11. Have they? Has anybody ever seen that before? Where they're like, we can't, I mean, they're handwrite boarding passes. Just think of how nuts this is. But I also want to bring up the fact that I listened to this press conference from local representatives that are going after CenterPoint Energy. CenterPoint Energy handles the power for Houston and I guess all of Texas. And it's been a shoddy job, let me tell you. It's been almost 2 weeks, and there are still people without power. My company still does not have internet. Remember, if I was calling all people, I mean, I was calling restaurants to find out if they were open. Most people don't even answer the phone anymore. It's so frustrating, but at least it rings. Last week, it was a struggle. I kept not even recognizing why nobody was answering their phones. Anywhere I called, nobody would answer their phones until I started to realize they have VoIP. If you have internet and your phone is relied on VoIP, then you're down. Okay, so it was a challenge last week. Just think about it. And one thing that the reps mentioned last night is that there are still over, what did they say, 100,000 customers without power. And one specific representative mentioned that one customer could be one apartment building. Just think of that, 100,000 and one customer could be an apartment building. So the struggle is still real here in Houston. We have been challenged for almost 2 weeks. This coming Monday would be 2 weeks. So we're 2 days shy or 3 days shy of 2 full weeks of without internet service. I mean, at least at my job, and I can speak for us. Anybody else in Houston or Texas, let me know how it's going there or anywhere else where the storm went. We just weren't prepared. And I think we need to figure out a way around this so that when this does happen again, because it's going to happen. And the more we get advanced, the more we rely on these things. So if you pull up your phone right now and you swipe and see how many apps you have, how many apps do you have? It started off 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. I'm going to guess I have well over 100. Easy. I have over 100. 60, 70, I probably use all the time. Some I just want there and don't feel like resetting it up when I do need it. You know, there's just certain ones that I use more than others, and especially travel related. I need to keep those and all the apps for the airlines and stuff for my travel and transportation. I definitely need to keep those and keep them active too. But we have email, we have everything communicative. How are we going to communicate with somebody when this happens again? I've been struggling with this idea. How can I contact my mom? Do I need to have a CB radio? How far do the CB radios go? A ham radio? I mean, there needs to be a backup. We got to do better. And here in Houston, I think with Centerpoint, they didn't have enough people to even work on the lines that were broken. They just refused to go underground. I don't get it. I mean, when I lived in Maryland, I mean, our power was under the ground. It was above in DC, but when I lived in Maryland, it was underground. So you didn't have those problems. They try to make up something, say, well, if it's underground and we won't know if there's a problem. No, get with the program, guys. Trees are going to fall in every storm, and more storms are coming. I mean, we're just starting. It's not even August. My birthday's at the end of next month. Almost always there's a hurricane on that day or a couple of days. I mean, the levees during Katrina, the levees broke on my birthday. If the hurricane came the next year or the next year after that on my birthday, it's just been nuts. So we're just starting the hurricane season. So this is gonna happen again. And let me tell you something. I feel for people who live in homes that are not made of brick, because it gets hot here in Houston. I was up yesterday, it said 100 degrees. So it's way more than 100 in a house that have windows around it. The best thing for me is our building is all brick. And it was a good 3 days. I didn't notice that the AC wasn't on, because I guess we constantly cool the hallways and the whole building, that it held the cold, and there's no heat. There's no people. Shoot, 30, 40% of the people just left. I don't know where they went, but they wasn't here. So which left even less people to transmit heat. So I stayed cool. So I was set here, just the lack of power. But there has to be a backup, and we've got to do something about this. I mean, what are your ideas? You let me know in the comment section, but I need a backup. I'm also working because I sell battery backups too, which lasted a little while, but not 4 days. But we need some ideas. I need some information. So if anybody works with solar, I'm trying to build my own. I'm going to get me a deep charge or deep cell marine battery. My bosses can help me with the specifics, hopefully. And if not, YouTube definitely can. I know he's busy, but YouTube is always available. Anyway, you're up to date with the latest out of Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole, and the whole world as far as power-related issues. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Yo. Yo, it's dcbornrob, beat the stream, daily dose. East Coast swagger, hit you with that travel pros. Colombia trips, Medellin tips on the real. Stay safe, stay aware, what's the deal? News on lock, know the blocks before you walk. Stick to the tours, avoid that shady talk. Urban jungle, vibes for miles, it's hot. Keep your eyes and ears open, dots to connect the plot. For your journey, pack your mind, strap it tight. Travel safe insurance, just in case, day or night. Rob's the plug, got the news tips to thrive. Medellin's your oyster, just stay wise to stay alive. Link up or sink, use the wisdom, that's your shield. Guided tours, soak the culture, streets revealed. Wondrous spots, safe zones, that's the key. dcbornrob's the name, bringing you the clarity. Roll smart, roll deep with that travel wisdom. Medellin's a charm, minus the hazards that glisten. Follow the guide, navigate the pave. dcbornrob, for your peace, make that trip safe. Hit the airport, got the passport stamp clean. Dream destination, life a vibrant scene. Cautious moves is your grooves, play your part. dcbornrob coming through, future-proof, street smart.